Good evening and welcome to State of Business on our television. I am Nadun Sirivardhana. Let's have a look at the headlines. Debt haircut percentage could increase, Central Bank Governor says. Sri Lanka poised for a rating upgrade after debt agreements, State Minister Semasinghe says. News in detail. Central Bank Governor Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe said that if Sri Lanka enhances transparency and successfully reduces corruption while boosting government revenue, there is a potential for the proposed 28% debt haircut to be increased to around 35%. The central bank governor said this speaking at a press briefing held at the Presidential Media Center recently. Dr. Veerasinghe emphasized that achieving debt relief compared to what bilateral creditors receive is crucial, even if it doesn't come in the form of a haircut. He explained that if bilateral creditors do not offer a haircut, they may provide a similar form of relief. According to the IMF, if the economy performs as projected, achieving sustainability with a 28% haircut is feasible. Dr. Veerasinghe also noted that the country's economic growth rate plays a significant role in determining the necessary haircut. If the country grows at an average of 3%, it can meet the requirement for sustainability within the proposed 28% haircut. However, if the growth rate reaches 5%, creditors might expect the haircut to reduce from 28% to 20%. State Minister of Finance Shehan Semasinghe said that after reaching an agreement with the Official Creditor Committee and China Exim Bank and reaching consensus with the bondholders, Sri Lanka is now poised for a rating upgrade. The State Minister said this, speaking to journalists at a virtual media briefing held recently. The State Minister noted that the responsibility now is to create a conducive environment and complete the debt restructuring process in all aspects. State Minister Semasinghe said that by doing so, the rating agencies will have the appetite to look at whether Sri Lanka is eligible for upgrading. The State Minister pointed out that the rating agencies will have different opinions on how the upgrade should come, but there are certain other areas to be concluded. Elaborating on the timelines, he explained a set time frame cannot be specified since there have been instances where the expected resolutions have been reached before the set date. Sri Lanka is currently classified as a restrictive default and selective default, where the island nation is not fulfilling part of its debt obligations. Foreign Minister Ali Sabri invited Japanese investments in renewable energy, logistics and ports, IT and startups to increase Japan's involvement in Sri Lanka's economic progress during a meeting with his Japanese counterpart Yoko Kamikawa in Japan recently. Minister Sabri expressed gratitude for Japan's pivotal role as a co-chair of the Official Creditor Committee, which facilitated the debt treatment agreement. Minister Kamikawa congratulated the Sri Lankan government on this achievement and promised support for Sri Lanka's economic revival, including the early resumption of projects funded by yen loans. The two ministers also discussed regional and global issues of mutual interest, including Indian Ocean Rim Association, maritime cooperation, non-proliferation and disarmament, reforms of international institutions, women, peace and security, and opportunities for specialized skilled workers in Japan. Minister Sabri met with Chief Cabinet Secretary of Japan and held meetings with the Justice Minister, Digital Transformation Minister, Japan Sri Lanka Friendship League, Japan External Trade Organization, Japan International Cooperation Agency, Japan International Trainee and Skilled Worker Cooperation Organization. Stay tuned, we will return after this commercial break. Welcome back. Indian High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, Santosh Jha, said that education will always gain dedicated attention in the bilateral relations between India and Sri Lanka. The High Commissioner said that Sri Lanka stands to gain a lot of support from its relationship with India in transitioning from physical to the digital sphere. The High Commissioner said this speaking at a handover ceremony of smart classrooms funded by the Indian government held in Galle over the weekend.
This partnership has evolved over the years and currently focuses on many aspects, most specifically and relevant in this context, the unique digital identity project, the digital public infrastructure projects, and smart classrooms, and many more. Education continues to receive dedicated attention in our bilateral engagements. Several of our ongoing projects are in the educational sphere. The focus in this domain is also shifting from hard physical infrastructure, which is important in itself, to the new ones, the digital tools. The current project and certain other projects for the establishment of smart classrooms in other parts of the country confirm this new approach. The driving philosophy behind the establishment of smart classrooms is to expose the students in rural parts of Sri Lanka to the limitless possibilities of the digital world. These students can benefit from resources and materials across the globe. India is also moving away from physical libraries to digital libraries, from physical books to digital resources, and hard print books to Kindles. Guided by our neighborhood first policy, we want our brothers, sisters, and children in Sri Lanka to also benefit from our accomplishments.
The Sri Lanka Export Development Board recently organized a workshop on the fair trade certification process in Sri Lanka, bringing together two prominent certification entities on one platform. The EDB collaborated with Fair Trade Network of Asia and Pacific Producers Sri Lanka and the World Fair Trade Organization Asia to organize the educational workshop. The event aimed to educate Sri Lankan producers and exporters about the fair trade certification processes and the importance of acquiring such certification. The workshop emphasized fair trade standards that apply to both food and non-food items produced and sold ethically and sustainably. Fair trade certification provides assurances of fair incomes, better working conditions, and community empowerment, supporting sustainable practices and increasing global demand. The event provided a platform for participants to interact with representatives from the two leading fair trade certification bodies, Fair Trade NAPP Sri Lanka and WFTO Asia. Attendees gained insights into the fair trade certification process, standards, and the benefits of acquiring such certification. Discussions also covered the challenges of opportunities in fair trade practices. The Inception workshop to launch the integrated management and environmentally sound disposal of pesticides in the agricultural sector and the mercury waste in the healthcare sector project was held in Colombo last week. The project, funded by the Global Environment Facility, is implemented by the Ministry of Environment and the United Nations Development Programme in Sri Lanka. This project aims to improve the implementation of regulations, strengthen national systems and capacities in chemical management, and support the transformation of healthcare waste management systems in Sri Lanka. Secretary to the Ministry of Environment Prabhat Chandakirti noted that this is a good financial and technical assistance opportunity for Sri Lanka to improve the regulatory framework related to waste and chemical management. UNDP representative in Sri Lanka, Asusa Kubota, said that this project is noteworthy due to its integrated approach spanning both the health and agriculture sectors. The Ministry of Environment will implement the project with support from UNDP in Sri Lanka over 5 years with an expected ending in October 2029. Stay tuned for the stock update. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on negative notes today. The all share price index dropped 105.57 points to close at 11,841.86, and the S&P SL20 dropped 36.40 points to close at 3,469.24. The turnover was 0.6 billion rupees and over 32 million shares were traded. Up next are forex rates. That's all our news for today. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Take care and good night.